Hello everyone, Spartan Warrior 5 again here today, bringing you guys my review over Dragon's Dogma. I'm going to be giving my honest thoughts and opinions about the game, the pros and cons, the plot, well not all of the plot, but the majority of the opening, and just a general overview of the game. So sit back, relax, and enjoy these random clips and kills that I have for you guys today over this commentary. So first off, let's get into some of the plot summary. Essentially, over a couple hundred years or thousands of years, the dragon has returned, and everyone's like, oh my gosh, dragon's back, what are we going to do? Let's try fighting back. Dragon destroys everyone in your village, and you're like, oh hell no. So you go try and fight the dragon. And you're kind of getting owned, because the dragon's the dragon, you're just a little peasant boy. And the dragon is all like, wait a second, this guy's kind of special. So what he does is he takes your heart and eats it. And once he does that, there's a mythical legend that says whoever's chosen by the dragon and has his heart taken becomes the new Arisen. And the Arisen is this all-powerful, chosen warrior to fight against the dragon to prove his worth and all that. This is probably not exactly how it goes, but that's just my interpretation of it. And essentially, the rest of the game is you trying to get your heart back. So, a lot of people give this game criticism over the plot and how the game runs with the quests and the storyline. But I think it kind of gets unfair treatment. I think that if you really pay attention to the plot and how it goes, it actually can get very deep. And, it has a very interesting concept to it. But again, you need to really pay attention to it. You can't just be, skipping through cutscenes and moving through dialogue really fast. If you really like games, storylines, you really should pay attention to Dragon's Dogmas, because it's one of the, I would say it's more interesting than some other ones. I mean, at points, yes, it's kind of bland, it is kind of generic, but other times near the end, it's kind of like makes you kind of think sort of a plot, and that's just my opinion of it. But that's the general storyline. Let's go through some of the pros of this game, and the first one being the combat system. This game is very, very unique in its combat. It's nothing like anything else. It has, a lot of people compare this game to Skyrim, to Shadow of the Colossus, to Dark Souls / Demon Souls. And essentially, yeah, they're really right. It has elements of all three games in it when we're talking about combat. Because when there's bigger enemies like Cyclopses, Griffins, Cockatrices, Dragons, a lot of the bigger enemies, you can climb up on them, maneuver through and attack their weak points. That's a very Shadow of the Colossus-esque element in the combat. But other than that, there's a lot of different sword play and using magic attacks that are similar to Dark Souls. And essentially, a lot of people think this game is like hopping off of those games, but I think it takes each element from these games and makes it its own. And I think the combat system in this game works very fluid, it works very well. The only gripe I have about it is when you grapple something, maneuvering around can be a little challenging, and the camera angles can be a little bit iffy. But other than that, it works very well, and it provides a really refreshing experience, because other games, combat's kind of bland, like Skyrim. It's like block with a shield, slash with a sword, put up your shield again, smash him in the face with the shield, slash him again. It gets kind of repetitive. But this game, there's 9 different vocations, starting off with the common vocations of the Strider, Fighter, and Mage. Well, then you can upgrade to advanced vocations, being the Warrior, the Ranger, and the Sorcerer. But then also they offer 3 more classes exclusively for you, the player, where it's a hybrid of the 3 different lesser classes, which are the Mystic Knight, which is the combination of Mage and Fighter, the Magic Archer, which is a combination of the Strider and the Mage, and then you also have the Assassin, which is a combination of the Strider and Fighter. And essentially, they all have their own little moves and skill sets and all of that. which also can help refresh the game. You know, if you're being a fighter throughout the main game, you might want to try out being a strider, or if you've been a strider, you might want to try out being a mage, and you know, vice versa, and all that kind of stuff. You can mix and match classes and stuff like that. Very well done. Another pro that I see with this game is the pawn system, and a lot of people say, oh my god, the pawns talk too much, they're useless, blah blah blah. I think they're kind of, you know, really insightful at times. You know, they tell you which weak points to really focus in on, because if you're a new player and your friend has this game and they have, you know, a higher level pawn, they'll tell you, like, okay, you know, try attacking the heart on this Drake, or, you know, don't use fire on Hellhounds because it only makes them more aggressive, and all that kind of stuff. So pawns really can help you a lot, but the only con with the pawns is that it's like they have this online idea of, okay, you can have your friends send over pawns and help fight, but it seems as if that, you know, there could have been an online co-op where it's 2 players and then their pawns being the party of 4, and it seems like that could have worked out perfectly. But I mean, it's not exactly a big gripe. It's something that could happen in the next game because it has been announced. You know, not really announced, more of just like confirmed that they are going to be making a sequel to this. But it's something that really could have been in this game, but I'm not too, you know, upset about it. It's not game breaking. And some other good things about this game is the setting. I think they did a very nice job with the visuals and how it looks. There are some parts where the frame rate can drop a little bit, but that's only during really intense parts with, you know, epic battles, where it's like a lot of fire or a lot of magic attacks happening, or just a lot of things happening on screen that kind of drops the frame rate. But if there's not a lot of stuff happening, it should be fine. And the frame rate does not drop for that long. It's kind of like a short-term kind of thing, but it's like not that bad. Some of the cons that I have with this game, some of the things I do not like, is that the main story quest seems to be really short. I blew through the main quest within a few hours, and that was on my second try, actually. I should be fair about this. First try, it took me a little longer because there wasn't any fast traveling, which again, it lets you immerse yourself into the game. Games like Skyrim, it's just there was the fast travel. You don't really get to enjoy the scenery. You don't even get to enjoy the environment. It's all just, oh, I'm going to just fast travel here. Now, oh, got another quest over here, fast travel there. There's no game that allows you to just have that thrill of just adventuring and just going out in the world and having that real situation of like, crap, it's going to turn nightfall soon. That's when all the monsters really get active. We need to find a inn or someplace safe to stay for the night. And I think that's something that a lot of games are missing, that whole sort of thrill of just like, shit, you know, I gotta get somewhere safe. And it's just that's something, again, really unique with Dragon's Dogma that a lot of other games don't really have. But at times, yes, it can be a little bit annoying where it's just like, okay, I have to take the same route over and over again. Can I just please just fast travel somewhere? But again, there is a fast traveling system in this game besides just the fairy stones going to Grand Soren. There are port crystals that during Game Plus mode you can take up to 10 port crystals and put them throughout the world wherever you want, and that's how you fast travel. You know, if you strategically put down port crystals down on the map turns into really small and it's easy to navigate. You know, and it's something that not everyone should be, you know, complaining about. I mean, I kind of phrased that really wrong. People should not be complaining about that because it's an aspect of the game that was supposed to be in there just to allow players to enjoy the scenery, the outdoors, the battles, the intensity of it all. But they all think, oh, I want fast travel. Just be lazy like that. So that's one of the other gripes that a lot of people have. And one other thing, too, is that, you know, people think, oh, the character's forgettable. And it's just like, characters in all role-playing games or open games like this are forgettable. I mean, how many characters do you remember from Skyrim? How many characters do you remember from Fallout? Not many. You know, it's an open-world type of game. You're not going to remember all the characters. So that's something that, again, people sort of overanalyze this game, and I think it's one of the more refreshing games of the year. And it does not get enough credit, but that's about all the time we have here today. Again, Dragon's Dogma, great combat system, really refreshing. It changes it up. If you go through all the side quests, if you go through, different missions that the notice boards have about, kill 10 Chimera or kill 3 Griffins, and do those and then put this main quest aside, you get a lot of replayability with this game. And if you're a guy like me who is level 200 and you're thinking, what else is there to do? Help kill the online Ur Dragon, get a grace period going. If you guys don't know what that is, I'll probably do another video about that. And you can start collecting all of the rare items from the Everfall. Again, I could do another video about how to get those. And there's just a lot of other things that people overlook that you can be doing in this game. But again, I'm running out of time here, guys, so I hope you all enjoyed. Again, more of the Dragon's Dogma coming up because I am loving this game so far. And I will talk to you all later. Peace out, and have a great day.